The following video has been approved by the Jetty marketing team. The video has been rated Jetty. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers. G'day mate, and welcome to a very, very different style of video. And let me just take a moment and explain. This is definitely going to be a speculation video. You know, what's coming, what's next, all that sort of stuff. Because, well, we had the Friday Facts. We had Friday Facts 364, and myself and Mojo did the Friday Facts together. And there was one line in here. One line in here that was critically important. And this was my biggest takeaway from the whole Friday Facts. Look, don't get me wrong. That was important. It was full of very, very important things. But there was one line. There was one line that has kept my brain ticking over. My brain ticking over continuously. Since I read it, since I thought about it. Anytime that my brain hasn't been soaked up with Dyson Sphere, it's been working on this one line. So Covrex says, because this is by Covrex. Covrex is the lead developer, the owner of Woob. Pretty thrilled to finally get to the point where we actually have 0 known issues and 0 active bugs reports on the forums. It's like cleaning the kitchen properly so you can start cooking something fresh. More about that next week. So, with that out of the way, I want to do a bit of a speculation video. Bit of a speculation. What's coming? What's my thoughts? What do I predict? Because, well, I thought it'd be interesting, honestly. And these are normally things that would normally happen around upcoming releases, Friday Facts, all that sort of stuff. They'd normally happen on Discord. Or they'd happen during my live streams over on Twitch. By all means, you can come over, follow me for more speculation like this, or just general chit-chat over at twitch.tv/JettyPlays. But, this one I thought, look, we're going to stop, we're going to make a video. Mainly because, myself and Mojo will do the Friday Facts when the Friday Facts comes out in a couple of days. But this one caught me because we're at Friday Facts 364. 365 is a year. A year is like the sign of everything being done, being completed, being finished, starting afresh. Either the end of something or the start of something new. And I thought the next week's Friday Facts could go one of 4 different ways. Okay. Number one, Woob says we're done. Okay, Woob just closes shop. We're done with Factorio. Factorio is good. It's on Steam, it's on Humble Bundle, it's here, there, it's everywhere. Somebody pays money, right, to Steam, Humble Bundle. They take their cut. They pass us whatever goes direct to Woob. The game is automatically sent to them. There is nothing we have to do apart from keep a website running with the forums, the mod portal, the blog post, the merch, and even then they could close down the merch page if they really felt like it. So I'm like one of the possibilities is Woob could disappear. That Woob, it is very much a possibility that Covrex might decide, with his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million copies of Factorio sold, whatever the number is, that he decides he's going to settle into his 10 million Factorio dollary dues house, and he's going to call it done. He's going to retire because there's a chance. I have no idea, honestly, but there's a good chance if you have a game and it's super, super successful, and as the owner of the business, you have the possibility of retiring after a game, and, whatever you choose to do from there becomes more of a hobby rather than a dedicated income. So, possibility 1, and I have 4 options. 4 options that I've come up with. So, possibility 1, we call Woob done. There is no more updates, no more nothing. That's it. They quit. That is definitely a possibility. Possibility 2, and this one I'm semi keen on. Woob announced they're going to do something new. They decide they're going to move into some sort of new game type. Now Clonan, who is one of the Factorio developers, I guess. He's actually the community manager. He has done a number of mods, and you may recognize some of these mods. I have used some of these mods. You might recognize some of these mods that are actually now part of base game. But he's done a few RTS style mods. So we had unit control and total automation, which really made Factorio act like an RTS. He's also done combat units a long time ago, which again made Factorio act a little bit like an RTS. So there is a possibility. The second possibility is Woob branches out. They decide, no, we're done with the factory genre. We started a whole new genre. We were definitely the birth of the genre, the master of the genre. Much like people look back to like June as June 2000 as the start of RTS, right? And then Command and Conquer, and then like the building blocks along the way, you know, Total Annihilation and so on and so forth. So they might decide that they're done. They start a whole new genre. They might quit. They might decide we're going to go into something else like an RTS. I could definitely see that the team that they have being able to make a very, very good RTS. Now, and they have a very powerful engine. It's not a 3D engine. Well, it technically is. It's sort of a 3D engine, it's sort of not a 3D engine, and they've said that's been a big point right from square one. But they did fully revamp the GUI and all the graphics of the engine, so there's no reason why they couldn't upgrade the Factorio engine to Factorio 2.0 engine, and then push out 3D graphics on a proper 3D engine and make an RTS. Or maybe they decide something else, you know? Maybe they're going to do the next, like, Civilizations, or the next tower defense game, or whatever it happens to be. That I could definitely see as a second option. Woob could decide they're going to go into a whole new game, whole new genre, and we're going to do something special. The third option is an interesting one. Back in the Indiegogo campaign, a long time ago. Long time ago. This is where they first got their initial funding to actually get Factorio off the ground. And as you can see, like, this is all in AU dollars, so it was 26,000. I think it was a 20,000 euro campaign. And they didn't have like the massive success that you've seen on recent games on Kickstarter that have got, you know, they've asked for $1 million and they've ended up being funded $15 million or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, Factorio started with Indiegogo, and that sort of got Thomas and Covrex up and running, and then, you know, from there they moved forth and they've given us the game that we have now, like 9 years later or something. But they did mention all the way back at the Indiegogo that one of the things they'd like to add was hidden ores. At the moment, all the mining is done from sources on the surface of the planet. However, the true treasures are hidden deep in the ground. Firstly, you have to locate them by scanning, and only after the use of elaborate mining machines get them. So this is like my third option. My third option is we could do a DLC. They could do a DLC. They could very much do a DLC. And they could add on to some of the things that they never got around to doing. Because, like, Factorio Endgame currently is boring. Let's be honest. It's been ever since, like, 14, you launch a rocket and then that's it. And in 16, we had you launch a rocket, now you get back space science, which is better. It's definitely an upgrade, and it's definitely, like, infinite science, because prior to that, like, the scale of a mega base was you could launch a rocket per minute. And then, like, a really good base would launch 3 rockets per minute. And then a legendary base would launch maybe 5 rockets per minute. In fact, my last playthrough, where I went for a rocket per minute goal, rather than space science, we were doing 15 rockets per minute in version 16, I want to say 17. With the optimizations we've had since then, maybe you can build a base that does 25 rockets per minute. I don't know. Anything's is possible. But this is where we currently stand for the end game. Like, you launch a rocket with a satellite and that's it. You get a congratulations screen, game is over. So I could definitely see the devs working on just the end game. Like having the base game continue and working on just the end game, or maybe they have it as a DLC. I'd have no issue with a DLC. DLC would be perfectly fine by me. I'd love to see a DLC for Factorio. It's something that they could definitely do. And maybe they take option 2 and option 3. They have part of the team go work on a new type of game, and they have part of the team go work on a DLC. That's entirely possible. Because like it's not the only time they've mentioned that they'd like to add more to the end game. There is Friday Fact 74, a long time ago, where they have said that there was no real end game content. So one of the options they had was building a silo on the ground and setting up necessary materials to build the orbit via rocket launchers. This will be the production part. Spaceship parts will require a lot of resources, and your factory needs to provide them. If you've ever played the mod SpaceX, this is essentially what SpaceX does. It makes you build a spaceship in space by launching up some very, very expensive rocket parts. If you watched my Sub-X series, that featured the mod SpaceX, and I launched up like 7,000 spaceships. I had the biggest factory I have ever built launching up spaceships, because launching up the components for a spaceship, because in that particular mod, it required 23 rockets full of 23 very expensive cargoes to make a single spaceship. Yeah. So, like, the devs have said that, you know, we might need you to make a spaceship as part of the end game. They've also said once the ship was in orbit, you'll need to actually make a small, fully automated factory on a space platform. So that's something else they've mentioned, which, again, if you follow me over on Twitch, or you look at my second YouTube channel, where all the VODs ended up, I did a full playthrough of space exploration, where essentially you do that. You build a factory on the ground, and then you start launching parts up to space, where you have to build a space platform to build a space factory to, well, continue through to the end game there, which requires a lot. Let's put it this way, it's like a 600-hour playthrough. So yeah, like it's fairly involved. Maybe a little bit too involved for vanilla Factorio, but you know, there's many of us that have sunk several thousand hours into mod packs and then come back for more. So maybe not, who knows? And then they have said, running the simulation, this will be the movie part. Sit back and see whether the ship you build stands the test of rescuing fellow citizens. We didn't end up with any fellow citizens, so maybe we need to rescue the biters. Speaking of biters, it's something I actually really like to see. If they decide to do more updates or a DLC, I'd love to see biters. I'd really, really love to see, maybe I can find it real quick, the Factorio Scorpion. Yeah, this guy. I'd love to see this in part of the game. Like, it's overdue. Ever since it was announced by Kovarex that his father had found a brand new, never seen before Scorpion, I was like, cool, when's it coming to the game? I want to see it in the game. I honestly want to see it in the game. So yeah, this is my third option. They either as part of the base game, which I highly doubt, because look, games are made, and then they either go straight for a release and they sell really well, and then that's it. The devs do a couple of updates and then they call it done. They move on to the next project, or they do a DLC. Okay, and a DLC sort of extends the game and gets a few more sales out of the game, because people hear about the DLC and then they buy the DLC and the base game, or they decide that they're just gonna, you know, buy the base game and then they don't buy the DLC because they didn't know about it, or it's how a development company can extend the profitability of the hard work they've previously done. Basically. That, and you know, they're spending a lot more time working on more parts of the game. They need to charge something for it. I have no problem with a DLC. Like, Factorio is a $30 game. What's the DLC going to cost? $10? $10? Done. Like, sign me up. So many people have throughout the years said, when Woob announces whatever they're gonna do next, just
shut up and take my money.
Don't even tell me what it is. I don't care. And I'm sort of 90% of the same boat. Like, they have done an amazing job on Factorio. Everything that they've ever set their sights on, they've pretty much done. And not only that, they've optimized the shit out of it. You can run Factorio on a calculator, right, powered by a potato. It's entirely possible. But, well, it probably requires a dedicated GPU. But apart from that, you're fine. You're fine. So, yeah, look, if they release a DLC, I'm done. I'm sold. I'm in. So that's our third option. Our third option, like a DLC or expansion of the base game. I highly doubt it's going to be an expansion of the base game. So we'll call that like a 3A and a 3B. Expansion of the base game and a DLC. Yeah. Our fourth option. Now, this is one I could actually really see them doing, and it's something that, it escapes me. The name of the developers for Minecraft. Monjo? Whatever they're called. Mohan. I think that's right. I don't know. I don't play Minecraft. I really actually don't like the game at all. And then everybody tells me, oh, you should play Minecraft. I'm like, are you playing Minecraft? With or without mods? With mods, of course. Well, then you don't like Minecraft, you like the mods for the Minecraft. So, I don't like Minecraft. You can sort of see where we agree. Anyway, sidetracked already. The fourth option I could really, really see is they could start taking Factorio and porting it to different consoles, different everything. Like there is nothing stopping them, especially with how the Xbox is, the new Xbox, whatever it's called, the Xbox 5068, weird number, and the PlayStation 5, we're up to 5. With the two new consoles that have come out that are basically high-end PCs, apart from having to rework how to play Factorio on a controller, in saying that both consoles can have a mouse and keyboard plugged in, I don't see why they might not go for the fourth option, which is they start porting Factorio. Now, whether they have their own internal team do it, or whether they go out and hire a specialized team to port Factorio across to these other consoles, I guess that'd be up to Woob and Woob's discretion and Woob's experience, and probably be faster and probably more profitable to have a third-party company do it, because there are companies that specialize in just porting games from one to the next to the next. So then again, Factorio's code is very, very customized and very, very highly optimized. So maybe they need to do it themselves. I don't know. It's speculation video. I don't have to come up with the answers. I just have to come up with the questions and the ideas. So I could see that as a fourth option. I could really see Woob porting stuff out to the Xbox and to the PlayStation. And you never know, in 2 years when Nintendo finally releases something other than the Switch, maybe it ends up on that console as well. Hell, in a couple of years, you might be able to play Factorio on your iPad, because let's be honest, iPads are not exactly low on the spec sheet anymore. Your tablet, like it could be a replacement to Doom. Everybody tried to have Doom running on everything from your fridge to, I'm pretty sure I saw a post somewhere where somebody had Doom running on a pregnancy test. A pregnancy tester. Yeah, that's more accurate. Maybe that's swapped out for Factorio. I have no idea how the graphics would work on something with so few pixels, but like that's entirely besides the point. That's the fourth option. They could definitely start porting it to other devices, other consoles, other medium, and yeah, we could have. Well, we could continue to grow that way and then choose to do one of the other options. Like I said, a whole new game, which will take them probably several years, just as Factorio took several years to go from a concept to an alpha to something playable to then multiplayer support to then what it is now. That, like, even from, well, concept to alpha was, I don't know, I can't remember now, but then alpha to multiplayer was like 5 years. Like, they have a lot more experience now, they have a larger team now, so it'd take them less, but it'd be like, if they chose to go a new game route, it'd be 2 years. Like, a minimum before we had something that was reasonable approximation of whatever the end product is going to be. A DLC, I don't know, that could take a very, very, very short amount of time. Potentially 6 months, maybe a year, all depends on what they already have as starting blocks, and what they're gonna and whoever they decide to bring in to help with the project. Speaking of helping with the project, look, there's definitely ways you can find out what Woob's doing. If we go to the jobs on the webpage, you can see they have there are currently no open positions, which is a real shame. Yet, if you check their Facebook, there is definitely a 3D artist they were looking for a week and a bit ago. And if we come here, we can see this is the actual post looking for an actual artist. And they are definitely looking to expand the team. Yeah, so I'm willing to bet they're not closing down shop. I'm willing to bet that maybe they're working on a new project, although it does say getting to work on Factorio with a direct link to the Factorio webpage. So I'm willing to bet it's the third option. They're going to be doing something, either a DLC or an expansion of the main game, probably a DLC. But with all that said, I'm going to end this speculation video here. I've given you guys enough hints, enough tips, enough thoughts, and we'll find out exactly how right or wrong I was in a couple of days when the Friday Facts drops. Anyway, with all that said, that's where we're going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I hope to see you in a future DLC that definitely involves Neo, Bonthus, Factorio, and probably, look, honestly, I want to see flying biters. I want to see swimming biters. And I definitely like to, if we're going to do space, I want to see some space biters. I want to see harder combat. I really do. I really want a little bit of that more RTS role in the game. But that's it. I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye.